And with that, I welcome you back to another video about World of Tanks. And today we are having a look at what you just saw, the first Czech autocannon vehicle coming to World of Tanks. Because at this point, I think we are at around 3 to 4 years since the last light tank branch has been introduced into World of Tanks. There even has been a little idea of implementing a tier 10 reward light tank, but this was scrapped. It has been moved to tier 8, and now this will be the first new tier 10 light tank in the last 3 years, the VZ71. And this thing, look, I already can put it that way. It looks interesting, it looks hideous, and I'm not entirely sure if this thing will be underpowered, overpowered, or even broken and frustrating to play against. Because when you just think about what the main point of these vehicles is, it feels a little bit like how would you say, a tier 10 Burrasque, but much more tuned towards mobility and burst damage. However, this new line, at least from this tank alone, looks like will also be the first vehicle line in the game having less damage on premium rounds than on standard rounds. And that is very interesting if you ask me. Now, what are the key factors of the VZ71? It has two, in matter of fact, 57mm guns. These 57mm guns do not have the normal double barrel mechanic because it is an autocannon with clips. In each of these clips there are 75 rounds. The reload in the clip, you could have seen before, is very fast. At least on paper right now, 0.05 seconds per round in the clip, giving you a clip burst time of 3.75 seconds. The reload of the whole clip is 15 seconds, and now with the 75 rounds in the clip, we have with standard rounds potentially 900 damage per clip, and with gold rounds 675 damage per clip. Now let's just quickly take my little calculator here, and yes, I remembered it all correctly from the German video. The gold rounds have 250mm of penetration, and the standard rounds have 190mm of penetration. Let's talk about DPM, because reloading the whole clip takes 15 seconds. And let's do a little bit of approximations with the 2 seconds aim time and with the 3.75 seconds burst time you have. Let's just round it all up to around 20 seconds per clip for a full burst and a full reload. This means that with standard rounds, you potentially have a damage per minute of 2700, and with gold rounds, 2025. These values are actually very good. However, it is, especially for this vehicle, which have a completely new mechanic, to me personally, very hard to judge. Can you even achieve this DPM? Because let's be honest, when you play something like a K91 or a Leopard 1, or even a Super Conqueror, a E5, whatever, you can usually get very, very, very close to its full DPM in optimal situations, which happen very often or very regularly during games, where you have a good position, where you can stand, hold down, for example, and just daka, 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 you know. With this thing, I doubt it is this easy, because it's a lot more go in, ratatatat, go out, reload. It is, quite frankly, very close to the Char MLE's playstyle, where I don't think this thing is going to be a normal light tank, but much more a combat scout. Much more something like the EBR used to be. Another foreshadowing problem, potentially. Because let's be honest, everybody disliked the EBR at the beginning. It was very, very strong until it was nerfed several times. And now I would say it is fine. It's still a go-to light tank in anything Clan Wars related. However, let's be honest, now with the 7v7 maneuvers, there's no point in a light tank usually anymore, because A, you don't know what map you're playing, and B, it is a lot more about brawling. And only really in the onslaught mode, light tanks have a use, because you know which map you're getting, and you can adjust to the map. And also importantly to that is, obviously, the Rheinmetall is still very strong, even though it was also nerfed for the onslaught mode. Anyway, I made a little bit of a tangent here. The thing about this vehicle is, I guess it feels like a buffed up Brusque. However, the key difference with the Brusque is we don't know what the gun handling of this thing is, and the Brusque has really good gun handling. Plus, it only has 2 shots and then 20-second reload, you know, and 2 seconds for those 720 bursts, which again, this is ridiculous if you ask me, but whatever. Tier 9 medium light tank on tier 8, whatever. The thing is, you can only do 1 shot and you already have 360 damage, you know? This thing, you can't really judge this. You just basically see the amount of hit points the enemy have. You know, okay, standard 900, gold 675. This is the potential damage range we can do. So now you have to also consider, okay, what about angles, you know? Because you will never have the ability to use the 2 caliber rule with how small those calibers are. What is going to happen with it? You know, how many shots will you bounce? How many shots will just go wherever? Because those things might not be accurate. It's 2 seconds aim time, 0.4 seconds accuracy. So it might be even harder to actually get the burst out. Obviously on maps like Brokom, like Mali, like Mines, all the maps where you can quickly get into cover or push an enemy and just smack them in the face, it will work fine. And again, don't forget, technically this thing needs 2 clips of standard rounds for any other tier 10 light tank, and they're dead. Which is pretty bonkers if you ask me. Additionally, I did ask Wargaming how is it looking with the crew damage or module damage. And they said module damage is normal, but those things cannot do crew damage. Still, this leaves quite ridiculous numbers. Depending how much module damage each specific pellet does, this might be either super bad or insanely strong. Imagine you get slammed in your face in this thing into your ammo rack, or the engine, or fuel tanks. Is it in by 1 second already kicked by your burning because you couldn't even react to try and repair the fuel tanks, try to repair the ammo rack? Those are questions which right now are impossible to answer, basically, because we don't know any of the hidden stats of this vehicle. And it makes it also super hard for me to judge if this vehicle is going to be good or not. I know I'm talking a lot without really focusing on what we have, because I also believe that right now it is important to talk about what we don't know yet. So, and also talk about potential issues we might have with this vehicle until to the test server, to still hope that Wargaming may or may not listen to us CCs and listen to you as a community. So it is important to me to also discuss this, so maybe you can also pick up a thought exercise or 2 and think like, okay, if this and this happens, ooh, I might think this needs to be changed. So you can voice your opinion later down the road when those vehicles come to the test server. Because if you have to be completely honest, not only did you see the clip at the beginning of the video, which is now 3 months old, it was already made, basically, the vehicles. And in this 2024 video Wargaming talked about, they talked, oh, we get Japanese heavies, they're garbage, Polish TDs, apparently very good, and this thing, and we already have 2 already. So chances are, next update, we already get the VZ71. That is quick. Holy moly. What is going to happen in the rest of the year? Potentially loot boxes every single month? Another topic I would gladly do a video about, because oh boy, too many loot boxes. Regardless, let's go back to the VZ. It is pretty speedy, 56 kph in top, 25 in reverse, almost 40 HP per turn ratio, and good hull traverse speeds. The good thing is, because I guess right now you can compare it, quite frankly, very handily to more or less the Char MLE, because the Char MLE is not a scout in the traditional sentence, it is a combat scout. And the main problem is, because of its ability to change the mechanic of its speedy modus, it also loses quite a lot of its fuel range, which this vehicle won't have. It is always as speedy as it is, and it has 390 meters of fuel range. If I now quickly go to this website here, thanks to GG, we all know it and love it, you will see that 390, yes, is in the lower end. It's not as bad as an EBR, but it is the second worst. It is totally doable, but again, you're not really going to be a great scout. Add to that is also, it doesn't have that good camo value. And this is actually a very interesting balancing aspect, I would even consider or say. It has around 15.5%, 15.2% camo rating. By the way, if you shoot, it's going haywire, obviously. But 15.2%. And it doesn't have really good rear range, meaning it will be one of the worst scouts when it comes to trying to counter spot any other scout tank in the game. Because let's look at the Rheinmetall Borsig. It has slightly better camo value, but 420 meters of view range, meaning a lot of camo breaking. Sheridan, slightly worse camo rating, but 30 meters more view range. Slightly better camo value, 10 meters more view range. As you can see, all of those vehicles either have a little bit worse camo, but better view range, or similar view range, but better camo. Same goes here for the AMX 13105, which will probably still be good. The main thing, or the main point with what the VC71 can do is it needs 2 clips. So if the first one is already loaded, technically we can adjust it to like 25 seconds. It needs 25 seconds and it can demolish every single light tank in the game without HE rounds. I didn't even consider what the HE rounds can do, but I believe with 50mm of pen, that is not too bad. Like, so 25 times 75 is 1,875 potential damage. So I'm looking forward to trying to clip a whole Waffenträger auf Panzer 4, or a Grille, or a Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, or an artillery, or heck, I don't know, a shit barn really. That would be juicy. I do believe this would be very, very funny. In any case, I should really wrap this thing up before I'm babbling and rambling too much. It is interesting, however, I am scared. Because A, we don't know how big it is. It looks decent, but probably also hard to play. It is probably like the Char MLE, and let's be honest, how many Char MLEs do you see? And it won't be as easy to play, at least on the paper, in my opinion, than the Borsig. But again, I might also be wrong. At the beginning, I said the Borsig is garbage. It turned out I was garbage. I had the skill issue, not the tank itself. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about the VC71. Are you looking forward to it? Or are you skeptical as I am? Maybe I'm turning into a boomer. I know, very little videos lately. I am right now at the end of the marathon called the second semester of my master's degree, additional to my work. So soon I should have more time. And luckily enough, I also finished Questorio 2, so I shouldn't be distracted too much with ADHD medication in game form. My name is RagingRaptor. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially write a comment, because that is what the algorithm loves. Goodbye.